Hello, and thank you for coming to this special edition of Noir Night in Noirvember. Today we're watching a film that has all the stylistic touches of a noir film. It's The Bigamist, directed with thoughtfulness by Ida Lupino. Some may say it's a melodrama, but she films it like a noir. This is a film that touches on the dangers and consequences of loneliness and cowardliness and being a bad communicator in the post-war era of the 1950s, and how even if you are those things, it's not your fault, because women are more independent, because changing attitudes, because women had to be independent while the men went to war and fight and stuff, and then the men came back and the women stayed independent. So what are you supposed to do now that you're an invalid man and there's no more war? And you got societal expectations of you, don't you? To be a man or something, but a nice man. So be careful if you're any of those things in the 1950s. It's also a cautionary tale. This film has what would otherwise be a soapy storyline, but it's too fast-paced to be a melodrama. I would say it's a noir, and so would many other people. It plays with morality in relation to legality in an interesting way. Hope that didn't sound too boring the way I said it just now. It's about a man caught between his understanding of right and wrong. You can see traces of films like this in Taxi Driver. Marty Scorsese, noted Ida Lupino fanatic. You can also see that in his film's treatment of good guys and versus bad guys. That there's a lot of gray areas, and that audiences like the different things about different people and relate to different things about different people. Sometimes even a bad guy. Ida Lupino did that. Film stars Edmund O'Brien, who's in tons of noir classics such as DOA, The Killers, and Ida Lupino's The Hitchhiker. It also stars Joan Fontaine, who you might know from many classic films, Academy Award winner. You might know her from Hitchcock's Rebecca. As well as Ida Lupino. The film also features Edmund Gwynn, who played Santa in Miracle on 34th Street, and the film and The Bigamist makes reference to that in clever, cute ways. It also features a character actor that I just like named Kenneth Tobey. I like to call him Ken Tobey. Filled with noirish themes like paranoia, getting caught, not being able to outrun your past. Story unfolds in the beginning like a detective story where a man's and his wife are trying to adopt a baby, and the adopter's got to get more information, and then so he starts saying, what's the deal with this one guy? He's kind of mysterious. Also, there's an early depiction of Star Tour bus. This man is caught between two very uniquely independent post-war women. One woman says she's a businesswoman. The other woman says, I don't need a man. So what's this guy supposed to do? Joan Fontaine's kind of the breadwinner. Edmund O'Brien's kind of emasculated in a way, but he's still nice. But he's a coward. This film portrays it as these people being victims of circumstance. They're not bad guys. Ida Lupino is sensitive to all characters. The Filmmakers Incorporated was a production company, independent production company, started by a writer-producer, husband of Ida Lupino, Collier Young, who wrote The Bigamist and Ida Lupino, and they formed a company called the Filmmakers Incorporated in order to produce and distribute more socially conscious films, issue-oriented films that would touch on taboo topics and in clever ways to work around the production code. They produced 12 films, 6 of which Ida Lupino directed, and many of which Collier Young wrote. Interestingly, while filming Don Siegel's Private Hell 36, which Collier Young wrote, Ida Lupino had a fling with Howard Duff, which resulted in a pregnancy and a marriage that lasted until a separation in 1966, which is interesting because I'd also heard that she had a thing with Steve Cochran. But maybe it was before. It was probably before, because I think they were in a different movie together. Anyway, Steve Cochran's also in Private Hell 36. Maybe it was just a real F-fest. But I also heard that she was not constrained herself by the conventions of society. And so maybe she and Collier Young had an arrangement. It's also interesting because her and Collier Young split up, and then Collier Young shacked up and married Joan Fontaine. And the next year, they went on to make The Bigamist together, written by Collier Young, directed by Ida Lupino, co-starring Joan Fontaine. And then there's also Edmund O'Brien. In a way, you might say that Edmund O'Brien is playing the role of Ida Lupino. I don't know. Or it could just, maybe that film set wasn't complicated at all, and these people are all really good communicators in real life, and they could just talk it through. And anyway, enjoy the film and all the layers involved. Come back on the 25th. We will have a very more traditional crime, classic, noirish, noir for Noir Night in Noirvember to do our second screening of Noirvember Noir. Noir. You won't want to miss it. Thanks for coming. Enjoy the screening and the discussion.